Friends Day edition of the Back-to-Back Pod. That means it's the Zach Harper and Friends Day, and that means I'm Zach Harper, your host. The friends on today's show are going to be the one and only Angie Treasure, the social media manager for the Utah Jazz, giving us a preview of the Snark Hoops episode from this week that we recorded earlier in the week. You can find that through our Patreon exclusive content. You go to patreon.com/countthedings. The support so far has been phenomenal. We really appreciate it. We need to keep spreading the word, keep growing the Patreon, keep growing the podcast feed itself. And we do that by having you leave 5-star reviews, telling your friends, rating, reviewing, retweeting the tweets when you see them. Don't just like them, please retweet them, and keep spreading that word as we do this independently. And our independence in this venture has meant so much to us in creating and controlling the content, and it means everything to have your support and your friends' support. So please keep doing that. And the other guest today, the legendary Stugotz from the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, which you can find on ESPN Radio and ESPN News every day. For my money, the best entertainment in sports by far. Before we get to that, let's take care of a little bit of business. I hope you're sitting down for this because you would be sitting down at a sporting event, which means you need a seat for a sporting event, which means you need SeatGeek. SeatGeek is our absolute favorite way, and it's really the only way to buy tickets to sports and concerts, which can be complicated, but that's the best way. A simpler way to do it is with SeatGeek. It's the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to live events. The mobile experience is really so easy to use. It's so seamless. What they do is they take every seat and they take all the prices from around the world and other ticket sites, and they let you know this is a good deal, this is a bad deal, jump on this deal. And you can even do this thing where you say, look, if this ticket drops 20% in price, let me know. And they will let you know as soon as that happens. You get a chance to jump on that deal. But everything is fully guaranteed. There's nothing quite like seeing your favorite team or musician in person, and they get you closer to the action than ever before. I've got the app on my phone. Jade's got the app on his phone. It really is just so easy. Concerts, comedy show, the theater, sporting events, anything you want. Just a couple of taps, and you can instantly find those seats. They save you time and money by searching those multiple ticket sites and grading out every seat so you know what's the best seat to fit your budget. Every price fully guaranteed, so shop with confidence. And you make SeatGeek your go-to app for finding tickets from sports and concerts to comedy and theater. And this call to action I got to read. Jade wouldn't let me post this podcast if I didn't read it. Our listeners, you're going to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase by using the promo code talkhoops. That's talkhoops, all one word, just like my Twitter handle. My mom just used it to get some Portland Trailblazers tickets. Went and saw the Blazers with my dad the other night. They had a great time, got $20 off their purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app. You sign up for a new account, and you hit the promo code talkhoops. You're going to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. When you're done with that, or maybe while you're doing that, have yourself a draft. Go to Play Draft and find out why everyone is using Play Draft for all their fantasy basketball needs. It's the easiest way to do it. It's our favorite way to do it. I do fantasy golf. I've been doing fantasy baseball and, of course, fantasy basketball. It's not like the other guys. This is a real live NBA draft play for real cold, hard cash that you will get immediately after winning, as long as you want to cash out whenever you feel like it. You're 80% more likely to win on Play Draft than you are the other websites, and we don't use those salary cap websites. Those are garbage. We don't use those anymore. Draft in under 5 minutes. Couldn't be easier, couldn't be quicker. Set it up. You can play expert mode. You can play just a regular mode. Our listeners are going to get a free entry into a draft when you use the promo code B2B. That's the promo code B2B, just like the SeatGeek promo. But promo code B2B for the Play Draft app. You're going to go down, download the app, sign up, use the B2B, free entry into a real money draft. And if you don't like it, say you play around and you're just like, you know what, this isn't for me, they will refund your money up to $100 because they're confident that this is the best way to do it. We do it every day. We're actually drafting quite often during the podcast. I did a draft for the Masters earlier today. A lot of people joined. Did some basketball drafts, did a baseball draft. It really is just such a fun way. You can play as low as $1 draft, so it's not going to stretch your budget if you don't want to throw a lot of money into it. But yeah, use that promo code B2B and get a free entry into a Play Draft, real live draft today. And now onto our episode with Stugotz and Angie Treasure. Stugotz for the first 25-ish minutes, 27 minutes, and then Angie Treasure for the Snark Hoops preview. Here's the one and only Stugotz. With me now, the man who needs no introduction, the legendary Stugotz from the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. The hot take king, the king of Mount Rushmore's, the king of his own personal record book. What's going on, Stu?
How are you, man? Am I a legend? I don't know. I think, like, my dad always says I'm a legend in my own mind. I think I might just be a legend in your mind. I don't know if I'm a legend in anyone else's mind.
Well, I don't know. There's a whole army. There's a whole army of people who revere you as a legend. Now, this army may be incorrect. Not all armies are correct, right? But I think you definitely have legend status right now.
Listen, I'll take it, and I'm proud of my army. It's an army that doesn't read very well. It's not, gives opinions based on very little facts, if any facts. But I'm proud of that damn army, man. I love being their leader, and lending a voice to all the people that don't have a voice to get their voice out there, man. That's what I do. So I'm the voice of all the dopes out there. Zach, I say this all the time. Most of the people in their cars listening, or if they're watching on TV, they know more about sports than we do. Okay, they do. They really do. And so I just lend them a voice, and that's it. I'm proud of that.
I want to get takes from you, but at first I want to talk a little bit about the show and the growth of the show. Did you ever think it would get to the point where it is right now? I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of the show, so I may be a little biased here, but I feel like the last month and a half, you guys have hit a peak that is just some of the best entertainment in sports media. And I'm wondering where you thought this show was going to be. You've been doing it for 15 years?
Yeah, it's been 15 years. To quickly answer that question, no, I never envisioned this. I knew we were on to something a couple of years into it, and what you've noticed over the last, let's just call it, 30 to 60 days, and I appreciate you saying that, is just getting everyone involved. I mean, the shipping container, Mike and Guillermo and Chris and Billy have really found their voice.
Yeah.
Guillermo being Billy. But they've really found their voice, and so it's helped with content, filling 4 hours a day. We want to try to set up the guys who have worked very hard for us for so long and continue to do so. We want to try to give them opportunities to succeed and give them chances to kind of shine, because Lord knows they've armed us and given us millions of opportunities to shine on air. That's what producers do. So it's kind of like, hey, getting them more involved. But Zach, no, I never. When Dan and I started, the show was so bad at the beginning. It was so bad. It was me interviewing Dan for 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
We were doing an afternoon drive in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and Dan would tell stories about him, riding around on his bike at night because he wasn't happy with the show. He didn't think what we were putting out was good, and it wasn't. And how do we make it better? How do we change that? So if you ask me then, if we would arrive where we're at today, I would have told you, man, I don't know if we'll make it another month. So, no. And then a couple of years in, we found our footing, and I knew what we were doing was really good and different and unique. But no, never in my wildest dreams did I think that we'd be in that 10-1 slot on ESPN Radio. Because I really do believe this. I think that little piece of radio real estate might be the most valuable piece of radio real estate in our industry, in sports radio. And so, no, I never envisioned than me. I'd be sitting there with Dan filling that important space for ESPN. No, I did not.
When did you get comfortable being the voice of the Army?
Wow, it's a good question. I mean, it's funny, right? Because now the person I always wanted to be was Chris Russo, and that, like Mad Dog Russo, and now I find myself mocking the person that I wanted to be, which is really strange. It's funny. Like, I remember Dan telling me early on, like, "Hey, I've gotten to know you a little bit. Like your personality, like, just let it go. You are what you are, and it's enough. Like, it is fun and it's funny, and as long as you're okay with it, and as long as you're okay with allowing the audience to see what is something close to the real you, and fully embrace it." Dan kept telling me, "Hey, it's enough. You on your own is enough. There's a million things we could do with this." And so once I fully embraced that, fully got it, fully understood it, fully embraced it, just really stopped caring about what people think, and that comes with age and perspective, and I guess all that good stuff. That's when I really, really started to enjoy it. And so it was just a lot of conversations between me and Dan, and now that I've fully embraced the role and do not care what anyone thinks, it's made my job a lot easier, and I think by extension has made the show a lot easier and a lot better. So it's been It's been fun, man. It's been fun to have this voice and be the voice of really, I've turned into the voice of sports fans because that's what sports fans do. Listen, one day your quarterback is the best quarterback on the planet, and the next day he's the worst. And that can go drive to drive, play to play. That's how fans do it. We don't base anything on facts. We base it on how we feel. And so I'm happy to lend the voice to that.
I mean, just in my own personal experience, I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. And I've covered them and everything, and they're having their most successful season of all time that didn't involve Kevin Garnett. Like, this team has just been a disaster for 27 years, and this is the first year where they've actually put out a winner without Kevin Garnett involved, and the fans want Tom Thibodeau fired. And to me, it's baffling. I'm like, that is crazy to me. Like, you've been wanting a winner, and now you have one. You're like, get this guy out of here. He's got to go.
Yeah, but they're not winning enough. Enough. And so I understand that. No, we don't want fans to stop doing that. That's what I'm telling Dan all the time. We don't want fans to stop doing that. Their reaction to stuff like that is what provides us, at least our show, with content. Like, no, you want fans to do that. Like, Tom Thibodeau, yes, you haven't won. You haven't done a whole lot of winning without Kevin Garnett. Now you've done some winning, but it's not enough winning because you have Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and Jimmy Butler.
Right.
Therefore, you want Thibodeau tired because he's not winning enough, and he's working them too hard. Like, it's a very dangerous situation there. But that's good. I like the fans doing that. That's what fans do. That's what we do, man. We fire coaches.
So, would you fire Tom Thibodeau?
Yes. Are you want enough?
Are you with Papi that you would fire Erik Spoelstra?
Oh, wow. No. That's a good one. I mean, Papi is relentless on Spoelstra. We can't get him off of that one. Man, do I think they should fire Spoelstra? No, I mean, listen, can you make the argument that he's never won without LeBron, Bosh, and Wade? Of course you can make that argument. Yeah. But you can also make the argument that I think the year before LeBron and Bosh came down here, not a really good roster, and I think that team with Wade as their leader made the playoffs. So, listen, Spo, and what he did last year with that team in the second half, Spo's a good coach. To answer, it's a long-winded way of me saying no, I do not agree. I agree with Papi on most things. I do not agree with him as it relates to Erik Spoelstra.
So you have uncovered.
Wait, do you think Spo should be fired?
No. I think Spo's one of the 5 best coaches in the world. So I don't think that Heat team's very good right now.
Okay. You think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the world?
All right, I'll move that to
top,
in the world,
top 8, top 8. So wait, hold on. Let's dissect this for a second because that's a hot take, right?
Is
there.
that
5
too
best
hot?
coaches in the world.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna lean into it. Yeah,
no,
best coaches in
never
the
too
world.
hot. No, Zach, they're never too hot for me, dude. They can't be hot enough. They're hotter. But are you including college? Are you saying in all sports or just in the NBA, college? Yeah. What are you doing here?
I don't think there's a single college coach who is better than Spoelstra on any level.
Okay, so you're Mickey Harrison.
I'm Mickey Harrison.
You own the Miami Heat.
Yep.
You own the Heat. And because what's today everyone's discussing Jay Wright.
Right.
Okay, he's the best coach in America. Right? So you get a call from Jay Wright's agent, you're Mickey Harrison, and you say, hey, Jay Wright he's going to coach in the NBA. He wants to come coach the Miami Heat. You don't part ways with Spoelstra?
Here's what I say. I'll check to see if Spo needs a video coordinator. That's what I would say. That would be my response.
Right.
Because then you're already in negotiations just in case.
That was Spo's first job under Riley. And what do you do that response with me? First off, we all know Riley is not going to bring someone down here that's going to challenge him in terms of suits and looks.
Oh, no.
It's totally hypothetical, right?
Yeah, you can't do Spo's enough, right? Like, Spo can wear a suit. That's enough of a challenge right there.
Spo's good-looking, but Spo's good-looking, but he's not quite good-looking enough, so Riley, therefore, is not threatened. He'd be threatened by Jay Wright.
Yeah, he would have to be. Let's take a quick break from the hot takes with Stugotz and talk about something else that's hot. Maybe spicing up that love life. Here's what I'm guessing. You guys, you're young, you're single, you're looking for some love here and there. Perhaps you've tried online dating. You're trying those apps, and I'm guessing you've run into probably 3 things. Lazy text messages that don't really further the conversation. Dead-end conversations, which just kill the conversation altogether, obviously. And then random matches that don't turn into dates. So it's like you guys are matching. You said you've linked up and you like each other, but you're not getting anywhere with it. That's all fine. And, it doesn't. You're kind of just wasting time with that stuff. Have you guys seen the success stories from eHarmony? Real people finding real matches with eHarmony. Lisa and Mark said they never thought they'd meet anyone online that was so compatible, and they're so grateful they were able to find each other. Bruce and Lori saying, don't settle for anything less. You too will meet the one that will complete your life using eHarmony. And of course, Jason and Anna, like, the greatest love story of our time. eHarmony knows what they're doing. When it's love, there's just no stopping it. They're singing the praises of eHarmony right now as they live happily ever after. I played around on eHarmony, took the personality quizzes, which are actually pretty interesting and make you think about a lot of how you value just certain personality traits within yourself in certain situations. So I found that to be a fascinating experience. And then I'm not trying to brag here. Flooded with matches daily. They're sending me matches daily. You're sending people smiles, sending people messages. Easy enough to just really see the people that they have scientifically found out to be compatible with you and start working on those relationships. It takes the steps that other dating sites don't in order to find you a more compatible match. It's built to help you find lasting, meaningful relationships, not this shallow hookup stuff that that can be fine for a little while, but ultimately you're just still empty inside and not loving it. They've helped over a million. This still gets me every time. Over 1 million people find their perfect match. They use decades of science and data and psychological research to send you the right matches, brings compatible people together. There are plenty of hookup sites out there, but this is not what eHarmony is about. They're the #1 trusted dating site or app based on a 28 survey of U.S. singles. Right now, our listeners, you're going to get a free month. You sign up for 3 months, a 3-month subscription with eHarmony, and you enter the promo code talkhoops at checkout. You're going to get a free month. So that turns that 3-month subscription into 4 months, which is plenty of time to find love. Probably too much time to find love. And this call to action I got to read. Stop waiting and start your journey to a satisfying, meaningful relationship. It can be fun to play around with online dating apps, but when you're ready to fall in love with someone and have a meaningful relationship, there's just one app that's built to bring you real love. That's eHarmony. Come see how eHarmony can change your life. Go to eHarmony.com and get started. Enter the promo code talkhoops at checkout and get that free extra month on a 3-month subscription. Go to eHarmony, find your true love, and spice up that love life, just like Stugotz is spicing up the hot takes. Back to Stugotz. Okay, so you uncovered the story that Kawhi Leonard may be on his way to Miami. Or you're saying Kawhi Leonard is on his way to Miami thanks to a LeBron James, little bit of trickery.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. I love this.
So here's the funny. It's book it, man. It's a done deal. Here's the funny thing about our show. I say this stuff, and because of the character we created, like, no one takes it seriously. Right. And then occasionally some of this stuff happens. I'm like, whoa, it's funny. It's like the first day LeBron came down to Miami. I told Dan, I told Mike, the first day I said 4 years from now he goes back to Cleveland with the championship there, storybook ending. They all left me out of the room. And what happened? 4 years later, he went back to Cleveland, storybook ending, won the championship. Listen, Zach, you know this. You cover the NBA, so you know this part of it as well as anyone. LeBron and all of his friends, his agent, his manager, all of whom I've met. I don't know them, but I've met them. They are A, very good at their jobs. B, super smart. C, very calculated. And there's nothing wrong with that. And by calculated, I think they have his career kind of laid out. Yeah. I really do. And so, I think the whole thing to Miami, back to Cleveland, all that was planned out by those guys. And it was smart and a really good job by them, because that one championship in Cleveland meant more than the 2 championships down here in Miami in terms of legacy. But yes, I could totally envision a scenario where LeBron says, hey, I can't win here anymore. Also, I can't go with Carmelo and Wade back to Miami and Chris Paul. That's not even enough to win a championship. Right. Because of the Rockets, because of the Warriors. So I need a young guy, and that young guy is Kawhi Leonard. And I think Kawhi is smart enough to know that, hey, I'm not winning championships in San Antonio. Like, there's not enough here for me to win championships. I'm playing with Pau Gasol. So what does he do? LeBron talks to Kawhi, tells Kawhi, do not step foot on a basketball court wearing a Spurs jersey again. Force them to trade you. I'm headed to Miami. Team Banana Boat, me, Paul, Wade, Carmelo, and then the Heat will end up trading for you. I'm telling you, that's what's happening. The conversation's already happened, and next year your starting 5 for the Heat, if they start Wade, will be Chris Paul at the 1, Wade at the 2, Carmelo at the 4, I guess, Kawhi at the 3, and they'll just play LeBron at 7.
I love it. All right. So
I'll tell you, it's happening.
So here's a question. This happens. It's happening. Does that count as Kawhi forcing his way to team up with LeBron? And then would that give him another championship in your personal record book, if that's the case?
Wow. See, I haven't thought it through like that. Because
it's not totally a Kevin Durant situation, but it's not that far from it.
No, it's not that. Well, I mean, Durant's situation is so unique in that he couldn't beat the team on his own. So rather than try again, up 3-1, Western Conference Final, couldn't beat them. So rather than try it again, he joined them. And so that's unique. That'd be like, right, Zach, like growing up, that'd be like Jordan saying, all right, I can't get past the Pistons, I'm just going to go join them.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just going to go be a bad boy. Right.
Right. So with Kawhi, he's already won a championship, and he beat LeBron in the NBA Finals, and I think he won Finals MVP.
He did,
so because he's done that on his own without LeBron, then yes, I would give him, in my personal record book, any championships Kawhi wins with this new team will count as championships in my personal record book.
Okay, then what about for LeBron? Because now LeBron's bringing all these people to South Beach. Does that count for him?
All LeBron's championships count.
They all count,
all
no
those
matter
championships.
What.
Yes, because he came down here, he won his 2, he had to do that, went back, he's already won one without Wade, without Bosch, and now he's desperate again. Kyrie's gone, team's not good. Yeah, LeBron's fine. If he comes back to Miami next year and takes Kawhi Leonard, LeBron gets championships in my personal record.
Okay, so I want
to. In fact, because I love Miami so much and it would mean so much to this city, I'd be willing. I'll have to give this some thought. I might be willing to give LeBron 2 championships for every championship he wins that year.
So he could really be past Michael Jordan in no time.
Yes, in theory he could. Yes, there's still time for him, yes.
Okay, speaking of your personal record book, I want to ask you just about a couple of athletes who won titles late in their careers, kind of like, tagging along to better teams. And I just want to find out if you think they have a championship in your personal record book. Wade Boggs.
Perfect. Wade Boggs couldn't win it with the Red Sox. He won one with the Yankees, right?
Right, with the Yankees.
Riding around that horse afterwards.
Exactly.
Right?
Turned into a cowboy
beers,
all of a sudden, right?
Man, I don't want to take a championship away from a guy riding around on a horse drinking beer.
That's fair. I mean, if he had just been running around the field on his own, I think you could take it away. But riding a horse, that takes some risk.
He gets a World Series ring. And baseball's so random that one guy can't really make that much of a difference.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So
baseball, riding around on horse, drinking beer to celebrate. Yeah, that's a championship in my personal
That's a championship. Okay. Now I know nothing about hockey, but Amin Al-Hassan, our friend, sent me this one. Ray Bourque.
Ray Bourque left Boston, went to Colorado to win his championship. They held a parade in Boston to celebrate Ray Bourque's championship that he didn't win with the Bruins, that he won with the Avalanche. That is a complete joke. I'm sorry. Ray Bourque having to leave Boston because he wasn't good enough to win a championship there. Ray Bourque, maybe one of the best hockey players ever, but not good enough to win a championship, has to go all the way to Colorado and then celebrates it, not in Colorado, in the city he really wanted to celebrate his Stanley Cup. That is a terrible job. No Stanley Cup championships for Ray Bourque.
Wow. I can't disagree with that. What about Clyde Drexler finds his way to the Houston Rockets to win a championship on Hakeem Olajuwon's coattails?
Okay, so Drexler couldn't win him in Portland, couldn't get past Jordan, went to Houston. Now, did he win the second championship with Houston, or was he there for the first one?
No, he won the second one. First one, I think, was Vernon Maxwell was the shooting guard.
Right. First one was ridiculous. Clyde Drexler, tail end of his career, latching on to Olajuwon in his prime. Plus, I got news for you, dude. Jordan took those 2 years off, okay?
Yeah.
So this will answer your question perfectly. Jordan took 2 years off in his prime. Had he not, he would have won 8 consecutive championships, which means those Rocket teams never win championships. So, and listen, it's impossible for you to listen to 4 hours of our show every single day, so I'll give you a pass with this one. I have stated already on the record that any championships won by those Rocket teams when Michael Jordan took a 2-year leave of absence do not count as championships in my personal record book.
So
if it's no for Hakeem, Hakeem doesn't have any rings in my personal record book. Neither does Clyde Drexler. Neither does anyone on that team unless they won one somewhere else, and they did it. So. No championship.
You're consistent here, so I'll stick with this. Now, Mychal Thompson, the father of Klay Thompson, couldn't win one in Portland for years, goes to the LA Lakers, wins 2 right away.
Latches on with Magic and Kareem and those guys, right?
Right.
I couldn't beat him in Portland. Couldn't beat him while he was in Portland. Kind of an ancillary player. I mean, made some contributions, right? Came off the bench, had some big moments in the postseason, if I remember correctly. Now, did he force his way out of Portland to get there?
That's a good question. So I believe he found his way to San Antonio, and I think he may have forced his way out of San Antonio to get to the Lakers.
Oh, okay. So if there's a force out to get yourself a... You know what? No. Mychal Thompson, no champion. No, you can't. You know what? In your prime, you couldn't get past the Lakers when you were with Portland in the Western Conference. A little cup of coffee at San Antonio. No championships for Mychal Thompson. No, he latched on. Like, listen, there are 1,000 guys. There are 1,000 Mychal Thompsons going to latch on to that team and win a couple of rings. So, no.
Okay, now I want to just pivot real quickly to your fraud Mount Rushmore. I know J.J. Watt's on there. I know J.J.'s on there.
Yes, well, of course. Yes.
Who else
so
would
this
you,
is my
who else would
fraud
you
Mount
consider?
Rushmore. You're asking for the... Right.
So I need
the 4
3
biggest frauds. That's a good question. I don't need to put our Bryles on there.
Well, I mean, do they have a Mount Rushmore in hell?
That's a good question. I don't know. Well, go check that out for me. When you get there, say hi to Art for them. Let me think about this. Biggest frauds. J.J. Watt is certainly up there. Camera's always on him. Do something when the camera's off. Rick Pitino is certainly... Rick Pitino is definitely on my Mount Rushmore of frauds. The funny thing with the college coaches, people still believe him. People still believe Pitino. The Feds are rarely wrong when they do it. Sean Miller is another one. So I have 2. Yeah, Sean Miller.
Can I say something about Sean Miller? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yes, you can. It's your podcast. Go
Sean
ahead.
Miller is the biggest fraud in college basketball. By far. He can't win anything. All he's done is buy players, which I get it. That's part of the system. You can buy all the players you want, but then to be dumb enough to get caught on a wiretap, allegedly, and then to not be able to win ever. Like, not even make a Final Four. What has he done? Like, he's not a coach. All he is he's a hiring manager. He's ZipRecruiter. That's all he is.
He wishes he was ZipRecruiter.
Right.
ZipRecruiter's excellent at what they do.
Yeah, and they're not going to jail.
Terrible. Get right. He's terrible. I mean, listen, obviously, and you said this, and here's me being careful, allegedly.
Right.
Listen, I've been ranting on Sean Miller forever because Sean Miller's always yelling at his players. He's always blaming everyone else. He's never blaming himself. And you're right. Like, he had, what was it, DeAndre Ayton? Is that the guy he had this year?
DeAndre Ayton, yeah, number 1 pick.
Where's he going? Like, number 1, 2, or 3 in the NBA draft?
Yeah, probably lowest he'll go is 2. I mean, he's just a monster.
Okay, so he had that kind of talent that allegedly he paid for, and he can't get out of the first round of the NCAA tournament. I mean, that guy, he's brutal. And so he is not a good coach. I have no idea why he's still employed by the University of Arizona, to be honest with you. But based on just the coaching, I have no idea why he's employed there at the University of Arizona. So, all right, we're getting somewhere here. We got 2 coaches. We got Pitino, we got Sean Miller, and we got J.J. Watt. I'm going to go Kevin Durant. That's my Mount Rushmore of phonies. Yeah,
that's great.
Kevin Durant. Yeah, Kevin Durant. He's so unctuous lately. Like, he's just, do me a favor, zip it up. Like, dude, you won your championship. You took a shortcut to get there. You took the easy path. Like, you won your championship. It doesn't count in my personal record book, but you won it. Like, just listen, you won your ring. You have the last laugh. Like, we don't need to hear from you at every turn now, whether you're criticizing bloggers or analytics or he's criticizing me on Twitter. Like, enough, zip it up. You won your championship. Be quiet. Go try to win another one. That won't count in my personal record book.
What team does he have to take to the championship in order for him to get one someday? Or I would posit that at this point he is taken enough of the winning mentality of the Warriors and kind of stolen that it would be fraudulent no matter where he goes and wins a title.
Let's see. Okay, so he can go nowhere with LeBron. Those won't count. Anything on Golden State won't count. If he decides he can't beat Houston, all of a sudden joins the Rockets. Those won't count. I don't know. How do you feel about if he goes back to Oklahoma City and helps Westbrook win a title? I think I'd be willing to give him one there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that'd be okay. Or if there's if a team gets put in Seattle and he goes back to that team.
Oh, that'd be nice too. Yeah,
he helps
that'd be
Seattle
nice
get a championship.
Yeah, okay. So I'd be willing to give him one there. What if he goes to Washington, hometown, John Wall, Beal, wins one there? Anything?
No, that does nothing for me.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm with you. So there it is. So he can only go to Oklahoma City, and he can only go to Seattle if there's a franchise back there. So listen, you're more interested in my personal record book than my staff is. I'm going to write this book. It's going to be done. We have meetings set up.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited about it. But I think I'm going to have to co-write it with you. And by co-write it, meaning you write it, I get all the money. Good?
You know what? I'm good with that. If they don't want to do the work, I'm willing to do the work on this and get absolutely zero of the credit and zero of the money. But just I'll be able to whisper someday on my deathbed, I helped write that.
All right, listen, as long as you're good with the 100%, 0% cut, then we are, Stu, you and I are business,
I'm not getting money right now anyway, so I'm used to it. I'm happy for you to get all the money in this situation.
Okay, done. Well, you'll get all of 0%.
My last thing for you before you go. Now, this may be tough because these people are very close to you. I want you to rank the shipping container.
Oh, wow. In terms of
let's do.
Give me some parameters.
Yeah,
here,
let's
in terms
do
of whether or not I like them. Who's best at their job?
Who's best at helping you at your job? Who helps you shine the best?
Ooh, wow. All right, we could take. I mean, this is tough because you're making me decide essentially between Guillermo and Mike Ryan. Because I love Roy and I love Chris. It is not Roy's job to help me with my job. It is not Chris's job, although he's very good at it. Oh, man, you're killing me. I can't. You're not going to let me off here if I say push, right?
No pushes. No pushes. This is. I mean, I need.
All right, so I'm going to do body.
Stance.
I'm going to do body of work. Like Billy gets me and knows me as well as just about anybody. And he lately with the fake Stugotz and all this stuff has kind of been in my ear a lot. But I'm going to go body of work and say Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan has been. I'm going to say Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan. Body of work. Mike Ryan is as important to me as just about anyone in my life. Let's put it that way.
What was more surprising, that Billy embracing the fake Stugotz role or Chris winning the race?
It wasn't Billy. Billy's been crafting that for a while. Like Billy, like half the ideas on the show. Yeah. So Fat Chris. I mean, his nickname is Fat, right? So him winning any sort of race, right? His nickname's Fat. So him winning any sort of race that includes speed and athletic ability was a shock to all of us. That was Billy's been crafting this for a while. Like there's a torch to be passed. Once Dan and I are done doing these, there has to be another Stugotz in the works, and I think Guillermo has decided he's going to take that baton and run with it. I'm proud of him.
I mean, he's pretty spectacular at it. I really enjoyed him kind of one-upping or maybe even two-upping Mina Kimes trying to do it on the show. Because I know you're working with her on this, but she wasn't really leaning into it. She was still being careful and journalistic.
Yeah, she's being too journalistic, way too journalistic. Listen, the key is, I've told Mina this all the time. Billy's embraced it in a way that Mina never will because she is a journalist. She's a great journalist. So I don't know how much more learning she's willing to do on the hot take front. But I've always told her, listen, doesn't matter. Facts, none of that. Don't let that get in the way. Deliver it with authority, with conviction. Say it loud, say it proud, and people will believe you because. Zach, this is the secret. It is Mike Ryan's job to fact check me, okay?
Right.
And they're doing it because we like to make fun of ourselves when I'm saying things that are wrong. That's the only reason he's doing it. Otherwise, he wouldn't even be doing it, okay? But I promise you, no one listening at home, in their car, watching on TV is fact-checking anything that you say. They're just believing everything that you say as long as you say it the right way, you know?
You just have to say, you have to make them believe that you believe it. That's the only thing that
you
matters.
You got to say it forcefully. You got to say it with conviction. You got to say it loud. You got to say it confidently. And it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. People will just believe you. You know. That's the school. That's the Stugotz School of Broadcasting right there. That is the first lesson I teach you when you come to the school.
And every listener we have now owes you $10, $20. What's the going rate here?
$10.
$10. Okay, I'm sure all the checks are in the mail. In some way, Stu, I really appreciate you joining the podcast. I know you got to run. You've got some family stuff to do. ESPN News. That you guys are on ESPN News now?
Yeah, so we do a local hour 9 to 10 on 790 The Ticket. 9 to 10, that's Miami, Fort Lauderdale only, and then 10 to 1 on ESPN Radio, Sirius XM, and of course on ESPN News. Used to be ESPNU, now on ESPN News, which is a simulcast TV version of our show every day, 10 to 1 on ESPN News. Zach, I must say, dude, thank you. Like it's a pleasure, it's an honor. Thank you. And I'm happy to do this anytime and spend more time with you. But seriously, on behalf of the entire show, there are precious few people. I don't know how many. I don't know if I can count on one hand that get our show and like our show and are dedicated to our show the way you are. So it was important to me. I told the guys I was coming on your podcast today. Thanks on behalf of all of us. Seriously, dude, it means a lot to us.
I watch you guys every day, and if I can't watch, I listen to the podcast. All 4 segments of it. So it's truly an honor to have you. Huge thank you once again to Stugotz of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. You can find it on ESPN News, you can find it on ESPN Radio, the podcast on, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere you can get podcasts. They really are the best in the business, and they are so fun, and they really they do it the right way, and they make everything about being a fan and following that show so fun. So they are the best, so support them. And speaking of the best, they're the best question answering duo in the world. Myself and Angie Treasure, the social media manager for the Utah Jazz, we do this every week. The Snark Hoops episode is found on Patreon, patreon.com/countthedings. You can subscribe there and get this as part of your exclusive content. We usually go a little over an hour every week and answer your questions and talk about whatever's going on. This week we talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about the West playoff standings, slapping referees on the butt. What else did we do? Like Hassan Whiteside being upset, all kinds of stuff. And then we took your questions. You guys had fantastic questions for us this week, and we explored those. So patreon.com/countthedings to get the full episode of Snark Hoops. But to entice you to do that, here is a little snippet of the episode from this week. So here's myself, and here is Angie Treasure, and we are answering your questions. But your questions with the Snark Hoops hashtag in either the Discord channel, if you're a part of that, or the old Twitters. I got a bunch of questions. Do you have questions? How should we do this?
It's up to you. Do you want to go Discord, Twitter? Yeah, why don't you start, and then I'll throw some in when it lags.
We know it's going to lag. Alex J. Burnett, our friend on here, wants to know, rank these 90s wrestlers. Now, Angie, you may be saying, I didn't pay attention to the wrestlers in the 90s. But
I would say that.
But he just wants them ranked based on the name alone, if need be.
Okay.
So here are the questions. Here are the wrestlers from the 90s: Big Boss Man, Rick Rude, Jake the Snake Roberts, Bam Bam Bigelow, the Honky Tonk Man, Mr. Perfect, or Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Those aren't real.
I'm going to send this to you so you can see them all in a thing.
I'm making a face.
Are you?
Yeah.
So let me tell you, like, Rick Rude was basically this guy who was supposed to be sort of sexy. Big Boss Man was dressed like a cop.
No.
Jake the Snake Roberts had a snake in a bag near the ring.
No.
Bam Bam Bigelow had like this weird bodysuit that had like flames on it. Like flame designs on it. Honky Tonk Man was just an Elvis impersonator. Mr. Perfect was just a blonde guy with a jerry curl, essentially. And I don't know, I guess a good looking guy. And then Brutus the Barber Beefcake was, dressed like a barber.
You knew these off the top of your head?
I remember these guys.
You were a big wrestling head?
I was a big wrestling fan until I found out it was fake.
And then you were more of a fan?
No, so I think like I came to the realization that once it was fake and I didn't really care anymore. I think this was like 96, so I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I was just like, okay, I know it's fake, but I don't care anymore. I can't watch this anymore. But up until that point, like, yeah, I was a huge wrestling fan.
I've just never got it, but also I was a small girl. Okay, I'm going to rank these.
Okay.
Best to worst or worst to best?
Worst to best.
Mr. Perfect
is the worst.
That's a horrible name.
Okay.
Big Boss Man 2.
Okay.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Honky Tonk Man is 3.
Okay.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
This is my favorite ranking we've ever done.
It might be directly correlated to how much alcohol you've consumed.
That's also fair.
Then I'll go Jake the Snake Roberts.
Okay.
Rick Rude.
Okay.
And Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake is the best.
I don't understand, but it's so alliterative. I can't help myself.
Oh, God, you're such a nerd.
I know.
Okay, I'm going worst to first. Honky Tonk Man.
Okay.
Rick Rude.
Okay. Are you factoring a persona, or you're just going...
No, I'm just going straight name.
Okay.
Mr. Perfect.
That's a really bad wrestling name.
Yeah. Bam Bam Bigelow. Big Boss Man, Jake the Snake Roberts. I'll also go Brutus the Barber Beefcake as the number 1.
I gotta Google this guy.
Oh my God. I want you to Google all these guys.
Oh man.
That's a great question. Thank you, Alex. What a great question. JJ Shibato wants to know, whenever Zach tweets with people about
He's
the movie...
from Frisco. Sorry.
Texas?
Yes.
Whenever Zach tweets with people about Next, I always think that he is talking about the MTV show, which leads me to the question, Next or Room Raiders? Did you watch either of those shows?
Ooh. I watched both of those. Very in on trash reality television.
Yeah.
And it was very much racy enough that I had to keep my thumb on the recall button while I sat downstairs. Because, you'd have to switch it to something so your mom didn't think you were just binge watching trash television, which I was. I think I liked Room Raiders better.
I'm gonna go Next. I definitely watched Room Raiders, but I watched Next more religiously than I did Room Raiders.
Yeah. I used to watch a lot of Blind Date.
Oh my God. All right. So Roger Lodge, you know Roger Lodge, the host of Blind Date?
Do I know Roger Lodge?
Yo, this guy, I don't know if he still does it, but for years he hosted a sports talk radio show in LA. And I was on it, I don't know, 24 times over a few years. The first time I was on with him, I was starstruck over the radio.
That's the most you've been starstruck was with
over the radio.
Roger
over the radio.
Okay.
But I was I could barely talk. I was surprised he had me back because all I wanted to do was ask him about Blind Date.
8 seasons that show ran.
It should have been 30.
I would watch the hell out of some Blind Date.
Absolutely. Throw that on Hulu. I won't leave.
Oh man. Did you ever watch Battle of the Boggs?
No.
It's insane.
Battle of the Boggs.
It was a British show. No, it was the British host. Basically, so the premise is it's the worst. You have 5 women in a room and there's 5 men behind the glass.
Okay.
And the women in the room, they say, okay, we're ranking legs. But you have to rank yourself how you think these men are going to rank you.
Okay.
And they have to agree. And if they get so many correct, then they win money.
Okay.
But it's insane. And the host, hates her job so much. She's so keenly aware. But they used to have all the episodes on Hulu. And I watched those an uncomfortable amount of hours in a row.
So a post on Jezebel.com from 2009 says, Battle of the Boggs, pretty much the worst reality show ever.
Oh, easily the worst reality show ever.
Oh man, I'm sad I missed this.
I wish it was on Hulu still.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go Next just because I think I really enjoyed when someone would step off the bus and they would say, no, Next.
No.
Just instantly.
No, I think that preys on everyone's fears, right?
Yeah, but it was great TV.
It's someone would be like, oh, that hemp necklace, those frosted tips.
Yeah.
Next.
And there were so many frosted tips on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and just
lots of embroidered jeans.
Yeah, puka shells for days.
Oh, yeah. Layered leather layered bracelets.
Oh, God,
from the buckle.
Absolutely.
Did you ever own anything from the buckle?
No. I don't even know what that means.
You've never heard of the buckle?
No.
Okay. Maybe it's a Utah thing.
Failed comedian.
Sorry, go ahead.
Failed _ comedian. When will James Harden's reputation as a bad defender go away? This year, all the numbers and the eye test say he is at least an average defender, and in some areas, post-defense, he's elite. Yet analysts continue to use the throwaway line that Harden is a poor defender. I think it usually takes 2 years for that reputation to be dissolved. A shooting guard / point guard, or let's just call him a lead guard being good at post-defense, elite at post-defense, stop. Okay? Like, no one cares that James Harden can defend the post, except for Rockets fans, because they want to use that. Now, I will say this. I don't think Harden's a bad defender anymore. I think he's average or above average. I think he's fine on that end of the floor. It's definitely not the meme-worthy stuff from the past, but saying, like, hey, he actually rates out as an elite post defender. No one cares. No one's posting him up.
Is anyone posting up guards in the NBA?
I mean, DeRozan does it a lot. Andrew Wiggins does it a lot. Yeah. Chris Middleton does it a good amount. Like, yeah, that's a thing, but they're also they're not like, hey, James Harden's on the floor, I'm gonna go post him up. Like they're getting switches and stuff. Like that's not a thing.
Right.
So yeah, I think it'll probably be like another year, and then
also it's okay to have a sense of humor about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's
okay as a Rockets fan to let go of it. I mean, I get it. It's annoying if it's not accurate.
Sure. Absolutely.
You get a little defensive about like the cat misconceptions that he's not a good defender. But like, I don't know. It's okay. He was really bad for a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can laugh at it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's fine. Because, by the way, you have the best record in the league, and he's going to win MVP, and maybe they have a chance.
Right, but, like, heaven forbid someone make a joke about his defense.
Right, exactly. At least they're not making a joke about him in strip clubs. Vabish, our friend Vabish wants to know, what is the scariest team name you can make by combining 2 team names?
Oh, I like this question.
Yeah.
Wizard Thunder? No, that's not it.
No, but that's not bad.
That sounds like a movie The Rock would star in.
Oh, God. We would go see Wizard Thunder with Robbie Callan during Summer League. I
absolutely would not, Robbie. Don't make me see anything with The Rock in it. That's a summer blockbuster.
What? The scariest one for me is Sun Wizards.
Sun Wizards?
A wizard that controls the sun? Get out of here.
That's not that scary. That sounds a little goofy, doesn't it?
They would dominate everything.
What about, like, Wolves Warriors?
Wolves Warriors aren't bad. Like a warrior that's also like a man-wolf? I guess it's just kind of like a werewolf with a shield, right? A werewolf with like a shield and a sword?
I like how your brain works. It's just making all these assumptions.
Now all I'm doing is picturing werewolves on Forged in Fire.
So many of those guys have like a bearskin rug. It's insane.
100%.
I like something with Thunder Warriors.
Okay. Have you watched Forged in Fire yet?
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay. Thoughts?
It's insane. None of those men know the touch of a woman.
No. That's why sometimes they'll be like,
but they probably can't feel anything because all of their nerves are singed off.
There's sometimes where they'll be like, oh yeah, I want to do this for my daughter. And then you don't see any pictures or video of them and their daughter. I'm just like, there's no way this is true.
They're just winking into the camera.
Right.
They're like, what do you do all day? Well, I fold hot metal and I talk to women online. Okay, can you pretend you have something to live for? We just need that for 30 seconds of the show. Great. Ooh, what about, like, rocket wolves?
Oh. Now, okay, here's my question. Is this a rocket that has the head of a wolf on it? Like a workable...
Why are you just making everything a centaur? Why are you just, like, splitting everything...
A workable head of a wolf, like a real hybrid, not like this is a
chomping head,
a chomping head on a rocket, or is this a wolf that has some kind of jetpack?
I like a wolf with the jetpack.
Okay, that actually might be more terrifying to me.
Some NBA team names are not scary.
No offense to your employer, but the Jazz, not scary.
No. Clippers,
not scary. Lakers, not scary.
Nets, not scary.
Spurs, not scary. Knicks, not scary.
What about heat nets? What if it was just like really hot?
A hot net? What does that do?
Like it's like a trap.
Ugh.
Or a magic net.
That doesn't sound intimidating at all.
What about a magic grizzly?
So okay, hold on.
A bear with powers.
Hold on. Yeah, is this a grizzly? Is this a grizzly concocted from a magic spell, or is this a grizzly who can use magic?
A giant ass bear that can use magic.
That is terrifying.
Isn't that scary?
Yeah, that's a good one. I still would take the Sun Wizard over that.
Sun Wizard over
a magic grizzly.
Yeah.
But I got to think about it.
Yeah. What about
what about like a cavalier raptor? Just a raptor who doesn't care.
Yeah.
A raptor's just like I'll
like
do anything.
A blazing raptor.
Oh, a trailblazing raptor.
Like it's taking names and doing things raptors have never done before. It's a real empowered raptor.
Yeah.
Hornets could be scary.
Hornets could be scary, but they need to be bigger.
What if it's magic hornets?
I don't think you can just keep attaching magic to everything.
What about wizard hornets?
A wizard hornet?
Well, listen, there's not as many. What about hornet wolves?
Oh, a hornet wolf? Like a wolf that can fly and has a stinger of a hornet, but it's wolf size.
Or it's wolf size with stinging powers of a hornet.
What about
a swarm? Because they're both pack animals.
If I may, a hornet pelican.
I don't like that. You really wouldn't like that because you don't like birds.
I don't like birds and I don't like hornets.
What about hornet hawk?
Well, see, here's what I think.
Faster.
It's faster, but I think the pelican's bigger and maybe a little meaner.
Is it? Do you have any evidence for that?
I think I saw it eat a bird once. I think there's a video where a pelican eats a bird. Hold on. Pelican eats bird.
What about a piston buck?
Like a
suitable for everyone.
Like a motorized.
A piston buck?
Like an engine powered buck.
Huh.
No, that doesn't scare you?
I don't think so. Oh my god, this pelican just ate a pigeon.
But hawks are carnivorous, aren't they?
Are they? Yeah, I guess they eat like rats and stuff.
Yeah.
Field mice.
Pelican eats bird. What are you sending me?
It ate its own kind.
Did it swallow? Oh no!
Yeah, it did.
Oh no! Oh no!
It did a business.
Oh no!
To get the rest of that reaction from Angie and to hear the rest of the questions and answers that we've got for the Snark Hoops episode, go to patreon.com/countthedings, become a subscriber, and you can get that exclusive content every Tuesday or Wednesday. Plus, we're going to try to do a couple extra things for you in the next few weeks and make that a regular thing. Be sure to hit up eHarmony with the promo code talkhoops, SeatGeek with the promo code talkhoops, and PlayDraft with the promo code B2B. We will be back at you on Thursday with Tom's Nerd Show.